we want to activate our model tree. We activate our model tree by selecting the Toggle Model Tree button in our main menu toolbar. You'll notice that 3 panes open up. The first pane we have is our model tree, then we have our capture pane, and finally we have our metadata pane. For this lesson, we're going to focus all of our attention on the model tree pane. We can increase and decrease the size of these panes. If we hover over the edges, left click and hold and drag to the right, it'll expand our model tree box. And if I want to reduce the size of a middle screen or the bottom screen, I just hover over this, left click and hold and drag down, and I can expand that. The first thing you may notice in the model tree itself is this arrow pointing to the right. This is called a node. We use this to expand and collapse to see the information kept inside of that description. If I click on this node, you'll notice that underneath the model I have PDF 3D scene. And then if I collapse it, click on the down arrow, you'll see that that goes away. We always open up nodes to the right and down. So I'm just going to follow to the right and down until I can't open anymore. PDF 3D scene, Dominic Nutman 4-inch chuck, and now I see all of the parts of the chuck itself. I can further open these individual parts and see what it is that I want. For example, I can open up pin, and then I can open up pin part 3, and now I can see the individual part. If I want to close these nodes, I just work my way up and left. I start at the furthest to the right, move up, move left, up and left, and that will close my nodes. We'll go ahead and keep the Dominic Nutmeg 4-inch chuck opened up, and we're going to take a look at the chuck itself. So we'll go down, we're going to open up the node for the chuck. You'll see that we have some nodes already opened up. If you don't have them opened up, that's okay. Just click on the arrows to open up the nodes. We'll use chuck part 2. Once we open up chuck part 2, you're going to see that there's chuck part 2 resource. If I want to find the chuck part 2 resource, all I need to do is left click on it. You'll notice that when I left click on it, it makes the part name bold, puts a gray box around it. If I right click on it and select zoom to part, it'll put that part right in the center of my screen. You'll notice that the part has changed colors a little bit, and it has this box around it, which is called a bounding box. Now you'll notice in front of chuck part 2, I also have a blue check mark. The blue check mark allows me to see or hide a part if I need to. Hiding parts is useful if I'm trying to find things behind other things. So if I can see the blue check mark, I can see the item over here. If I cannot see the blue check mark, I have hidden the item and I'm no longer able to see it. If I remove the check mark from chuck part 2 resource, you'll notice that I can no longer see the part. It's hidden. It's still there. You can see the bounding boxes around it. It's just hidden from my view. Allows me to see other parts of the item itself. If I select and put the blue check mark back in, you can see that I can have that part in. This also works in reverse. If I go to my part itself and I select this blue thing, I don't know what this blue thing is called, but if I select it, you'll notice that over here on the left side, it's opened up the node for our dog, it's opened up dog part 3, and it's opened up dog part 3 resource. So now I've identified this part name. I can click on any of these parts and it will tell me what they are. I just have to find them inside of the model tree. When I use the default view reset button or the home button, what it's going to do is it's going to reinstall any check marks that I've removed and remove any check marks that I've installed. And it's going to reset our view. It does not close nodes.